Hey guys! So I am back today to do my January wrap-up and February to-be-read pile. So first off, I want to say that this month I have been able to read the most books that I've ever been able to read in a month. And it looks like I've read 11 books, which is crazy and insane. I know. I never thought I'd be able to read 11, much less like 8. Alright, so since I've got so many books, I'm just going to go ahead and dive right into this so that this video isn't like forever long. Alright, the first couple of books were on my tablet, and of course, as fate would have it, right as I go to film this video, my tablet runs out of battery, so it is charging and the plug is like nowhere near this vicinity. So I'm going to have to like insert the covers or something. Alright, so the very first books that I finished are Crash and Clash. It's part of a trilogy. I think the third book is going to be called Crush. I don't remember the name of the author, but I will leave it like right here. And also, I'm going to try to insert the cover right now. And the synopsis sounded interesting, so I thought, why not? Let's give this a shot. Haven't seen like any reviews on this, and I was actually surprised by how much I liked this series. I did have like 1 or 2 issues with it, but other than that, I think it was overall a really, really great book. Basically what it's about is this girl, she kind of has a family tragedy happen. She escapes her issues through dancing. But anywho, she meets this boy who is like the ultimate bad prepped boy that you could have. So she meets him one day when she's on the beach, and he pretty much flat out tells her that he's not into relationships, he's not into giving girls flowers or any of that. And like basically don't expect that. He's basically looking to hook up. And she just kind of like shuts him down because who wants to date someone like that? And after that sort of awkward meeting, they run into each other time after time again, and he kind of grows on her, of course, and this really, really cute love story kind of comes out of it, and so that's basically what that series is about. It's really good. I would recommend it. I've seen a lot of people reading it lately on Goodreads, and they've all been loving it too. I actually rated both books a 4.5, very close, so close to a 5-star rating, but like I said, there was just a couple issues here and there that I had with it, but it was overall a really, really cute and great read. The next book I read was The Reluctant Bachelorette by Rachel Anderson. And this was actually one of my favorite books of the month. I really, I didn't know what to expect going into this, but I ended up really, really liking it. So, of course, I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. So to wrap this one up in a nutshell, it's about this town that's kind of, the economy is like taking a toll on it, and they're suffering for money, and it's like a farming community. And so as a plan to kind of help them out, there's these 2 girls, and one of them decides to run this like internet dating show, like pretty much The Bachelorette, but basically the viewers are the ones deciding who gets sent home and who gets to stay, and they vote, and they are charged like $1 each vote, I think. So it's kind of like their own little fundraiser. So one of the girls is in charge of setting this whole thing up, and she signs her best friend up without her knowledge, and it kind of goes from there because one of the contestants is actually kind of a former high school crush of this girl's, and he kind of left without like a goodbye, and she's been kind of holding it against him. So in her like head, she starts with this plan to get him back by making the viewers hate him, and he kind of figures out what she's doing, so he tries to backfire with it, and it's just kind of funny. So I thought it was a super cute read. I would actually really recommend this book to anyone who's interested in that storyline, but yeah, moving on. The next book I read is Flat Out Love by Jessica Park, I believe it is. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. It was a really great read, not like my most favorite book out there, but I think it was a really enjoyable read, and it sent out a really good message. I do plan on, I've already filmed a book review on this, so I will talk more in detail about that book in that video, so just watch out for that. And the last book I read on my Kindle was The Perfect Game. Again, I forgot who wrote this one, but I'll insert it somewhere on the screen. And here's the cover. I rated this book 3.5 stars. I loved the beginning of this book. Let me just start off by saying that. It started off really great, really cute, But I did have my issues with it. Like, there's kind of more issues than I would have liked. And one of my issues with this book was, it was kind of an insta-love situation, like, in the sense of, it shows them going on their first date, and her kind of, like, still hesitant about him. And as he's dropping her off, he's saying, like, I want to be this different guy, and she kind of says, prove it. But then the next chapter, it says it jumps to, like, a month later. I believe it's a month later. And then it's, like, on this scene where they're just, like, all lovey-dovey with each other. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I understand a month has passed, but I needed more of something else besides going from, like, hating each other to just all of a sudden I love you. That was one of the issues I had with it. And then the other big issue I had with this is there is, like, a huge curveball, like, thrown in this book towards the middle. And I predicted this happening, and it's just, oh my gosh, I didn't, like, predict as serious as what happened to happen. And the only reason that I didn't like this was the decisions that probably almost both characters make, but ultimately one of them makes a decision, and it just pissed me off. Sorry, but it really pissed me off with the decision, and it kind of ruined the rest of the book for me. But yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people really loved this book, and you may have a different view of it, so I'm not saying don't go read it. It was an okay book. Like I said, I really enjoyed it, especially the beginning, but once it got in there, I was just kind of like, no. Alright, now on to my physical copies of books. The first physical copy I read was Matched by Ali Condi. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I actually really enjoyed this, and I know that this is kind of one of those books that you either love it or hate it, and that's kind of what the reviews have been. And I actually really liked this. I'm a little nervous because I hear the rest of the series just kind of goes downhill, and I really hope I'm not one of those people that think that, but you never know. So, I gave this isn't a 5-star for me because of the pacing. It could have been a little more something to it. It just kind of seemed a little slow. I understand they did a really good job of explaining this world, and that's what I really liked about it, was the society. Basically, it's like the society, if you've never read this, I mean, I feel like the only one who hasn't, where pretty much everything is dictated for you, when you're going to die, who you're going to marry, what you're going to do for your job, like, everything's decided for you, and they have this matching ceremony where when you're 16, you have the option of being matched, and basically you go in and your soulmate, or who you're going to marry, pops up on the screen, and that's basically who you marry. And so she gets the image of her best friend on the screen and is pretty excited, and she goes home to insert, like, these little cards they give them to see information on the person. And I mean, it's her best friend. She thought it was kind of funny to do it, but she figured why not. And as she inserts the card, there's another picture of a boy that shows up, and she also knows this boy, who's actually friends with her as well. So it's kind of, that's where the story takes off, is her kind of seeing the other side of this other boy and kind of seeing who she thinks that she should end up with. So yeah, I really liked it. It was a really good read, kind of like a dystopian feel, and I've been really liking that lately, so I would recommend it. The next book I read is Shut Out by Cody Keplinger. I gave this one a 3.5 stars out of 5 because, okay, I really did enjoy this book. It was a good book. It didn't wow me, and it's basically about this rivalry between the school soccer and football team, and it's just gotten so out of hand, and the girlfriends of these players kind of get together and decide that they're gonna basically say, no hanky-panky for you, mister, until this is solved. Yes, I did just say hanky-panky. So they make this pact, and basically none of the boys obviously like it, and then they try to revolt and make them try to give in quicker. It was a fun read in that regard, and she kind of starts falling for the head of the soccer team. I really could not stand this girl's boyfriend in this book. I think that's the reason why I kind of leveled it down so far, was I just couldn't stand him, and she just made some stupid choices as well, so this is the only reason I gave it a 3.5. I really loved The Duck by her, and I really want to pick up A Midsummer's Nightmare by her as well. I hear that those two are her best, and that this one was kind of her okay book, so I was kind of expecting that going in, but I still thought it was good. Maybe you guys will enjoy it a lot more. I really did enjoy it, but it was just an okay book. Okay, the next book I read is Every Day by David Levison. I gave this one a 4 out of 5. I really, really enjoyed this. I loved the writing style of this book. I feel like it really was good at describing what was going on, and it's about this, I don't know, I guess you could call it an it. It's not really, doesn't have a gender. It's like, I think of him as a guy though, don't ask me why, but, so basically he switches a new body every day, and he lands into this body named Justin and falls for his girlfriend, and every day when he switches bodies he tries to locate her, and yeah, it's basically about that. I don't want to say too much more without spoiling. I really enjoyed it. I think my favorite part was reading about the lives of the people that he was in. It was really interesting, and I thought it made for a really good read, so go read it. The next book I read was Epic Fail by Claire Lazebnik. I hope I said that right. I gave this one a 4 out of 5. Yes, 4 out of 5. It was a really fun, cute read. It's basically like a modern day version of Pride and Prejudice, but I thought it was cute, and I really love Pride and Prejudice. It's one of my all-time favorite stories, and I love the movie, so yes, I knew I had to give this a shot. Modernized or not, it was still really good. And then the last two books I read are part of the Touch series, and the first one is Deadly Little Secret, followed by Deadly Little Lies by, okay, I really hope I can pronounce this right, Laurie Faria Stolars. I hope I said that right, and I hope I didn't slaughter it. And I gave them both a 5 out of 5 stars, but now that I think about it, I might give the second one a 4.5 stars. Probably a 4.5 star. Maybe 5. I can't decide. It's like on the fence with me, so I can't decide with the second book. I think I'll probably do like a series review on them when I'm done reading it. There's a couple more books in the series. I'm currently on the third one, which is Deadly Little Games, and I'm so close to being done. I only have like that much left, like seriously just a couple, just like 2 chapters. I plan on finishing this tonight, but I figured I want to film this video, so this will be included probably in my next month's wrap up. Alright, so now that that super long part is done and over with, I will hurry and give you a quick rundown of what I plan to read in February. I picked out a couple books and I'm really excited for this, so let me just hurry and show you what they are. Alright, a majority of these books I plan on reading, basically almost all of them, except like 1 or 2, are going to be in an upcoming book haul, so this is like a little sneak peek for you guys, but that's why you haven't seen me mention these yet, because I just already bought them. So basically I got the 4th and 5th book in the Touch series, so I plan on reading those hopefully this month. Those are kind of like my, maybe if I get 2 books, I hope I do though. The first book I really want to finish is Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion, with the movie coming out like, I think it's this weekend, you guys, and I've made plans to go see this, so I want to read it before I go see it. It's really short, and I just want to get this out of the way and finally read it. This is also a maybe if I get to it book, but I kind of want to read Cross, the second book to match, and that's if I get to it, and I'm really hoping I do. The next book that I know for sure I'm going to read is Meant to Be. I love this cover. It is so pretty. And this is by Lauren Morrill. I know a lot of people are reading this month, and I've seen it in a bookstore, and I picked it up, and I really want to read it, so it is getting read. Another book I hope to read this month is Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi. I know that Heather loves this book, and this was her favorite of 2012, and she just raves about this, so Heather, I really hope I could read this so I could post a review and we could chat about this, because you've made me just want to read this, so I hope I can read this month. I also hope to read Beautiful Creatures by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. With the movie coming out, I just want to get this done and over with. It's a pretty thick read, so I might read this along with another book. I've been putting this off because I've heard some reviews where people don't really get into it till the very end. There's a lot to try to get into till the very end of a book, so I've been having mixed feelings with this, so we'll see how that works out this month. Now I know that's already a huge stack of books to try to get through. The sequels are kind of not promises, I just want to get to them, but the last book I really want to get into this month is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. Oh my gosh, this book is it's recently new, and I won't go too much into the synopsis yet because I will explain more of these in the book haul, so yeah, I'm really, really excited for this, you guys. It's probably like my most anticipated book to read this month, besides Shatter Me and Meant to Be and Warm Bodies, but that's like 4 books. Anywho. But yeah, so that was my wrap-up and to-be-read pile. Let me know if you've read any of these, what you thought of them, and yeah, we can chat about it. So I think that's all I wanted to say. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!